Okay, here's what we have to start with. I'm going to just hit play so you know what's going on here. We got a big tom thingy and a bridge breakdown, whatever. Kind of going for an epic deal, I guess. Whatever that means. All right, let's listen to the tom by itself. Okay, that just sounds like a tom. It's I don't know. I don't have a whole lot to say about that. I guess that's kind of works. Well, no, it doesn't. Let's listen to everything in context here, the whole mix. I know for a fact, this being kind of a metalish project, that they're gonna want each individual hit of that tom to be, they wanted that stick click, but there isn't any stick click. So what do? Well, we get busy when the going gets tough. All right, and so what I've done here is I've taken, and this is probably going to be a little artificial sounding when we zoom in with the microscope. However, I think it's the kind of thing that we wouldn't notice if we didn't know what we were doing. There's probably some guilt to this. Oh dear, adding transients or adding stick click with this, whatever. Okay, what I've done is I've got Sasquatch and I've also got Vox Former. That's all it's doing is compressing really hard. We want to keep the individual clicks, reduce the dynamics so the little guys don't get lost, because Sasquatch can be too dynamic. And that was the reason that I've duplicated the track and have Sasquatch on its own track here. Okay, so let's get busy with this. Let's hear what I've got with the stick clicks. In fact, I'm going to solo the tom. And it does have an out-of-tune quality that I'm not nearly in love with at all. I mean, I'm kind of hate everything about it in a way. That does not sound like Superior Drummer or Slate or anything. Okay, so that's local band work for you. All right, and they're a good band. All right, so we're going to bring in this attack. And again, we have survivor's guilt. We know what we're doing. We have ruled out audio deniable plausibility. Who cares? We're going to go ahead and accept that this is what it is. And how did I get that? Well, all I'm using is the click. And I kind of went close to the center this time, which for me is rare. Usually for natural stuff, I want to be in this bottom right quadrant, which would sound more like this. But for whatever reason, I want a little bit more sustain or whatever. So, and the way we can rationalize that is every one of us has been in a room with the bottom snares rattling. So when a tom is hit, you hear a lot of that bottom snare bottom, and I think that may be part of the sound of the tom. This modern thing, which has been going on for probably close to 15 years. I guess it's not even modern; it's just the way it is. Where the toms have a lot of that attack. I know Pantera did it 20 years ago. That I've never heard that once on a single tom, and I've recorded I don't know how many hundreds. So I think it's always fake, and we need to kind of accept that, at least for this, and use your own judgment and morals and all that crap. But I'm serving the band here, and not the audio forum gods. Okay, so let's hear it in context and see, because none of this stuff matters soloed anyway. And let's go louder just to see. I want to know if it's crossing my fake filter at all. And that might be a little much. Let's pull it back down. And just to be curious, I want to see what happens when we take Vox Former's compressor off. Hell, I think I like that better. So what this has done is it's given us a chance where there's no EQ in the world that would do that. And I used a Slate trigger originally on that tom part, and it did not work. It was an absolute disaster. I tried, the usual transient designers and multi-band transient designers, like in Alloy 2, Isotope. And even though they were trying to pull something that wasn't there to begin with, and that's always just asking for trouble. It's just a big waste of time for everyone when that happens. So if something's not there to begin with, we need to create it there to begin with. And I think this is an awesome solution. And by routing, by compressing and being a little bit careful with these clicks, and routing them into the drum bus so they get compressed and all that crap, maybe tape emulation to kind of squash some of that high-end stuff. We can get really, I don't want to call it natural because the rock music world's given up on natural, but we can get really, really cool toms, or at least do what the band intended to begin with, even if we had to kind of do it in a way they may not need to know about. Over and out.